Y'all, so yeah, let's get into this mess. Let's talk about the View. So Whoopi Goldberg, coon ass, couldn't wait to salivate at the mouth. She got a little too excited. I wouldn't be surprised if her bloomers started to get a little moist by this announcement. So yeah, apparently she couldn't wait to announce today that they got that old racist bitch Marjorie Taylor Greene showing up on the View next week. So they said on Thursday. Oh, they said on Thursday's episode. That's today. Duh. On Thursday's episode, co-host, and I can't stand her either. Like she's gotten even more psychotic. Sarah Haynes mentioned Greene's name as the host discussed the government shutdown. Whoopi so Goldberg said, "I'm happy to say she's going to be here on Thursday. I mean, on Tuesday, which is election day. So the day that Zora Mamdani, everybody goes out and votes for him, he becomes mayor because he is going to become mayor unless they try to pull some coup." Um, she's going to be on the show. I'm like, this is how we're spending um our election day. You're going to have some right wing nutbag show up on y'all show for what? So yeah, that's what she said. She said, I don't know how many things we agree on, but I know the thing that she and and all of us at this table agree on is the shutdown should not be affecting the American people. This part is true, but what we're not going to do is just sit in here and try to whitewash who Marjorie Taylor Greene is. Oh, because all of a sudden she's going against the cult. She's doing it. Tucker Carlson's doing it, or as I like to call him, Fucker Carlson, and Candace Owens, all because they having a little flip floppy moments of I'm against, what Donald Trump is doing, where in 2 days people aren't going to be getting their SNAP benefits. That is all getting cut off. That he's throwing away food aid for people that food banks are struggling. There was a video that I saw from Sabby Sabs where she broke down the whole thing about food banks and everything being shut down. I mean, not being shut down, but that they can't afford to take care of the mass amount of people that are on public that need food and aid. And you have people on social media with their conspiracy theories about, wow, why are there 40 something million people on food stamps and why are people doing that? I'm like, federal workers, people with actual jobs, people with jobs and federal workers who, by the way, a lot of them are still going without, pay. The TSA workers, all of them ain't and still haven't gotten paid, but the governors, government people are still getting their checks. This is why I guess they don't give a shit about the government shutdown. Remember, if Trump was to get what he wants, that means he plans on cutting Medicaid, which means a lot of people's premiums going to go up, and then people are going to lose a lot of their medical insurance. Jesus Christ, this country is just going to shit, and it's just like nobody. I feel like I'm just sounding the alarm, and nobody cares. And so, well, I won't say nobody. A lot of people don't care, especially a lot of these rich people. Which is why shout out to Billie Eilish for calling out a lot of these billionaires. And we're gonna get to that story later on, but um, I just don't overall. I just don't particularly like this whole situation. So to get back into the story, they said, but and she's saying you don't know how many things we agree on. I guess you don't really pay attention to Marjorie Taylor Greene except for the bullshit talking points that they give y'all in your little cards. But Marjorie is a deplorable piece of shit. I can't believe y'all go said, I don't know how many things we agree on. Probably nothing. She's an anti-Semite. She's a racist. She said the most despicable things towards Jasmine Crockett, which of course she came up with that big, what is that bleach blonde, bad built, butch body line, because she is big backed. And shout out to Don Lemon, who basically called out Megan Kelly, said that she looks transgender. And I was like, where y'all been? Whenever I make comments about her strong jaw, what do you think I'm referring to? She looks mannish. And I think a lot of times when these anti-trans people come up in here and say all the mess that they say, is you're mad because people mistaking you for a man. Jess He Not Hilarious, Megan Ugly Ass Kelly, and her homosexual alleged husband, and Nancy Mace long head ass. I mean, all of them they were out here with this rhetoric. She said these are decisions that you don't have a right to stopping herself before almost saying a curse word on air. She always plays it up like she gonna curse. And it's like, this is coming from somebody who doesn't 9 times out of 10 know what the hell she's talking about when she's on that damn panel. None of them do, quiet as it's kept, but Whoopi especially. And then it's as she put her hands over her mouth and smirked, her co-host laughed and told her, "You caught it. She ain't catch shit. It was all an act." And they said, as Behar noted during Goldberg's announcement, Greene's appearance on the morning talk show comes on November 4th, Election Day. Greene, a Republican congresswoman and who was gerrymandered, by the way, from Georgia, won't um won't be up for re-election until the 2026 midterms, which I feel like this is a grift. This is her playing up this thing to get people interested in her, so that way she can, go get up for that job again. And it's like, don't fall for it. But among Tuesday's races is that of the mayor of New York City, where The View is shot. After Democratic Socialists, Zoran Mamdani, and Democratic Socialist is a good thing. I don't care, give a good goddamn what a lot of y'all are saying. Look, Democrats, y'all get on my damn nerves because there was this old woman who's like 84 years old. I cannot remember her name. She apparently has dementia. She was scammed out of $8,000. And they're still trying to primary her to run for reelection. And I'm like, the bitch's brains is deteriorating in real time, but y'all still trying to prop her up like some not a weekend at Bernie's to run for her seat, to continue her seat. And this is all with them, a lot of them, both on both sides. But we're gonna talk about the Democrats. The Democrats, y'all are so hell bent on keeping y'all power because y'all know if y'all lose that seat, then a Republican, whatever, could be put in there. You're willing to primary somebody who's half past dead, can't remember what they coming or going, because y'all don't want to lose a seat. And you had dumbass Hakeem Jeffries sucking what little drop of water he had in that little bottle, talking about, "I haven't spoken to her in a couple of days," or whatever, like some dumbass excuse they gave because they were bringing it up about her reelection or whatever the case was. And he's like talking about, "Oh, I haven't spoken to her." Y'all know that lady is all fucked up in the head, but this is what they do. They want to maintain what they have to maintain the power, the status quo, cucking to the corporate, the donations and things. Same thing like when AOC was running for I forget the position, and then they ran an old ass man with cancer because it's his time. And that's starting to irritate me because the Democrats love running shit on "It's my time, it's my time. This is my time." Remember that song from The View? I mean, not The View, The Real. It's not your time. See, the problem with y'all is y'all always think like, "Oh, I'm the next in line. I should be given a spot." It's not about that. This is why Zoran is where he is, because he came out with a plan. He came out with an idea. He was giving you something different than what the status quo was giving us, which is totally what The View was against. And that's why he's surging in the polls. And you look at, well, Curtis Lee runs every time there's an election, and he don't win, so he don't really count. We know he's just there to be the little gnat that like buzz, like he does that, just get in your ear and irritate you. So he's that irritating gnat. So we already know about Curtis Lewa, but he's entertaining. Then we got out of touch ass Mario Cuomo, who's an established corporate. I don't even know what the fuck he's running as because he can't run as a Democrat. He says he's independent, right? But there's nothing independent about what what you are. You're a status quo Democrat. With like you and the other idiot who they put on GQ, which everybody was reading him. They ate GQ up in the comments for having our Mayor Adams in there sucking on a cohiba, looking like he just looked dumb, sitting there smoking a damn cigar while he's being interviewed. I'm like, you look dumb. But this is allegedly, apparently, what he does. He sits in the backs of, clubs or whatever, and doing hookah and smoking cigars instead of and acting like he a black mob boss. He think like he the mayor. What was it? The Godfather of Harlem. Thinking he the Godfather of Harlem. That popped in my head. Shout out to Forrest Whitaker. Acting like he the Godfather of Harlem, while he supposed to be doing mayoral things, which he hasn't done his whole term. So I'm glad his ass is out. Cuomo ain't winning. And this is like the whole thing with them. All they care about is maintaining that power. Where it was like, yeah, they ran a man with cancer up against AOC just so they got, and then puts out David Hogg, all the people that was trying to come in and really push for change. But Zoran, he can't be stopped. They trying so hard to find stuff on him. They trying so hard to destroy his calling him all anti-Semite. He hates the Jews. The Jews, man, mind you, in New York, they all behind. A lot of them are behind. I ain't gonna say all, but a lot of them are behind Zoran. So they try every little trick in the book, and they're desperate, and they're pissed, and they're mad. Especially mainstream media. That's why I'm just clapping. Nancy Pelosi clap at the fact that y'all mad over the fact that somebody who y'all can't buy because his slogan is New York can't be bought. And well, that's what he's been chanting as of late. Y'all just mad because Zoran is the thing that y'all against the establishment. He's a rebel, and y'all can't take it. So I can't wait till Tuesday because that's when I'm voting for his ass. And I got the day off, so I'm definitely gonna be going up in there to vote. I think I'm gonna do it before I do the show because I already know what happens. I get so caught up in this show that I'm like, damn, I done missed the deadline for me to get up there and vote. So I might get up early and do it. But and I saw Madonna. She voted today too. Um, she better have voted for Zoran. Because, ma'am, you can't be well, she's lived here for over 30 years, 40 years. So she is a straight up New Yorker. We gave you you got the keys to the kingdom. You are a established New Yorker because you've been here a minute. You've been here for decades. Like you left Michigan to come to New York to make something of yourself. So you get the point. But if you went and voted for an established Democrat, then your key's about to be revoked. Now, hold on. So I might actually like her for this part. They say after Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani earned the Democratic Party nomination earlier this year, Greene surprisingly praised his campaign while criticizing his policies, saying he spoke directly to the people. Yes, he's speaking directly to the people, and yes, his policies, I don't know why people have a problem with it. So I partially like her for praising the campaign. Look, it's even gotten to a point where I saw a MAGA guy wearing a red hat saying MAGA for Mamdani. Now, this is where it gets a little whatever. We could be of two minds. Now, there's some MAGA out there that are just straight up into the drinking in the cult, sucking up every drop of the Trump Kool-Aid, likes to hide behind it because he gives them permission to be bigots, racist, full on ICE supporters, all the stuff. We don't like y'all. We like the ones that initially believed that why they got with Trump because he was against the establishment. Mind you, he was a full on, he is not anti-establishment. He is the establishment. Someone was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, was in real estate, wants to hobnob with the elites and the rich, and now y'all see he's giving the rich people whatever they want while the rest of us try to find scraps and survive. So now they learning the hard way of the type of asshole he truly is. But if we get some of the MAGAs to come on and be like, you know what, I like what he's about. He wants Medicare for all. He has a lot of, he wants um people to be able to have affordable housing. He wants people to be able to go to school and have a good education and things of that nature, which is we're falling behind in the education part. I saw that Roland Martin was interviewing him. He did like a 30-minute interview and he was telling us something about the gifted and talented schools. I said, wait a minute, now I got to start paying attention because I was a kid that went to a gifted and talented school. That's where I learned how to play classic piano. That's where I learned all that stuff. So I went to a gifted and talented school. Shout out to PS327 in Brooklyn. So I went to a gifted and talented school, got to learn all the things that I went, and I don't like the whole like segregation of you put things because in school I use for example if you were in they had GT, so it was like one GT, two GT, three GT, four GT, five GT. So it went up to the fifth grade. So it always started the GT was the top class. Then it was so we'll do first grade. So it was one GT, then it was one what was it? Then it would go by in numbers. So it'd be 1 1, 2 1, 3 1, 4 1, 5 1. If you were in 5 1, you were slow. No shade, but you were at the bottom of the barrel. You were the slow kid. But so there was levels into what to the school. And my mother, we knew the principal. We knew Rose English, may she rest in peace, and Miss Mitchell, who was the vice principal. And now they named the school after her. So that was good to be a part of that legacy. But nevertheless, I know I went on this whole different tangent, but I felt like this was way a lot of the stuff I was bringing was way more interesting than the fact that Marjorie Taylor tight ass Greene being on some damn The View. So yes, so she was elected in 2020. And she's been known mostly for her offensive remarks about several racial and religious groups and consistently backing Donald Trump. So this is who you want to have on the show, and then Whoopi's up there. Well, I don't know if we agree on anything. I'm like, what are you talking about? Do you even know anything about her? Or a lot of you rich people so in your bubble that y'all not really paying attention that the world is on fucking fire. So it just boggles my mind that propaganda filled the view of all people would have this lying, racist, anti-Semitic grifter on their show. So all of a sudden now, like I feel that because she's against Trump, which I'll say for now, because a lot of them like to flip flop more so than the ones they wear in between their damn toes. So it's just like, no, I'm not buying the whole, oh, I'm anti-Trump. You are today. But then tomorrow you'll say something completely different. So I don't trust this bitch as far as I can throw her. And for the View, thinking ratings, controversial, ooh. It's like y'all don't realize the danger of having these psychotic extremists on your show. But then when you got somebody that's really all about wanting change for the people, like a Zoran Mamdani, y'all give that bullshit ass interview with him where y'all were trying to make him come across like some athlete, but he's too smart for y'all's stupidity. He saw through the bullshit. So they always try to throw something on him. He's real good with the slickerization of it all. But then Cuomo comes on the show, a damn woman abuser, and sexual harasser, and nobody likes, quiet as it's kept, in New York. Nobody liked him when he was in politics. Um, Now all of a sudden you want to give him a softball interview and kiss his ass? Please. That's why I thought, look, I'll tell you, I only watched one episode of this season of The View. Once I watched it, I was like, I'm done. I can't with this. I can't with this crap anymore. Y'all haven't evolved. You're not really out here speaking on progressive talking points to where the rest of the world is. And I think it's because I've been I've been watching so many different people who are really speaking on real stuff going on in the world and not just some trying to hold on to what was. And I think that's what legacy corporate media is still stuck on. They're still stuck in this world of the world will be this and we do this way, and we prop up a bunch of lazy ass politicians who don't do nothing, like Chuck fat ass Schumer, and then that dumbass asshole Hakeem Jeffries, when we start propping these people up still when they ain't doing nothing for us, while I watch people like Pondering Politics, um, who else? Kyle Kalinske. I watch his wife, Crystal Ball, and her show. The I've Had It podcast with Jennifer Welch and Pumps and their funny little lines that they got for Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, Kangleman Taco Tits and all that stuff. Hassan Piker. You know, there's so many other people that I watch that, and Sabby Sab. So she really be dropping some jewels, and she's an independent. So she calls out both sides, which I like. Um, because the word on the curve was this whole thing with food discrepancy has been, it didn't start with Trump just took the cannonball to the situation. It really started 3 years ago during the Biden administration, so a lot of this was happening slowly. He just took a sledgehammer to the whole, or I say a wrecking ball to the situation, because that's all he does. Everything he touches is a disaster, but it was slowly creeping up to where it is now. But and she pointed that out on her video and had the receipts and everything. So yeah, I'll be watching them. So it's like when you and then you go back and you try to watch the view, and it's like this shit is so outdated, and I don't care because y'all only spend like 5 minutes trying to give five different or six different opinions on something that we where there's better people giving better information. So I want, like, the rest of this season I won't be watching, but I definitely want to hear from y'all. Will you be watching um the Beast from Beauty and the Beast sit with the other ladies on The View spewing her bullshit talking points? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.